City streets change slowly and discreetly. Leaves and cars rearranged under the dark night in the street lights. Morning walks bypassing while they talk through tiny holes, so the sound collects and molds to my bad mood. Hello, this is Roxy, also known as Two White Cranes. I'm just sitting here in my bedroom where I do my recording. I've just been at work all day, but last night I went to see Superchunk and they were so unbelievably good. So I've been carrying that pop punk power pop vibe with me all day, so I feel great. Bedroom shelf, collecting skin, she helps, marking time with the pages I decide to return to. My life in music has been amazing and long now, so it's probably literally coming up to 20 years of, writing songs and playing them in front of people, which seems like a mad thing to say. So I started making music and being in bands because my brother was making music and was in bands in Bristol in the 2004, 2005. He started a record label called Stitch Records. And then, because I was a little teenager, I was like, that's so cool. And I started playing solo as Roxanne the Early Years, which was a tribute to the TV show Superman the Early Years. It's very satisfying that that name has paid off because it is now no longer the early years and we are in the middle years, So that's very pleasing. And then since then, I've just been in, honestly, 100 bands. Really tiring now that I think about it. My first band was called Cats in Puzzle Boxes. That was my secondary school band. And we played our first show with Francois and the Atlas Mountains, which is hilarious to think about. We covered the Buffy theme tune and a JJ72 song. Sweet. And then I've been in a band called the Mountain Parade when I lived in Oxford and a band called Little Cosmonaut. I played in Trust Fund and Joanna Gruesome at various points. I had a band called Grubs, who I really wanted that to sound like Green Day, but I don't think it did. And yeah, lots of other bands. Now I'm not in any bands because being in bands is incredibly tiring. Hopefully I will play music with other people again at some point, but at the moment I'm really enjoying playing on my own as Two White Cranes. And that project started in 2011 when I was living in Oxford. I was working in a hospital as a medical records library assistant. Very boring, but every day when I was walking to work, I walked beneath two white construction cranes that were building bits of Oxford Brookes University. Those are the cranes that I'm referring to, not birds, as many people think. But it's okay if you want to think about cranes, the birds. They're also nice. And I've released loads of things, but as Two White Cranes, I've released 2 albums, one self-released EP and a split with Try the Pie. And then now this new album with Lost Map, which is very exciting. Let's end on again. This house deep into the fan. You risk sinking in again. You risk sinking in again. And while you are asleep, the forest seems to gently sleep. And while you are asleep, the forest seems to gently sleep. This album, Self-Build, so it was recorded this year in February in Oxfordshire, and I actually recorded it with my friend Matt Stevens, who recorded the very first Two White Cranes album in 2013, so it was exactly 10 years since that first album was recorded. It was really nice to kind of come together again as two people, because our lives had changed quite a lot in that 10-year interval, like babies and jobs and bands and but the process, those bits that I recorded with Matt, the process was remarkably similar. He's very talented, very good, works really well with my style, which is to be quite quick with recording. So he would be very specific about the technical bits, but then the actual playing, I just play it a few times, done, which is how I like to do it. So that was the first half of the album, but then actually the second half is all recorded by me alone in my bedroom. So very, very different. When I do that, I kind of just like layer things over and over. Again, pretty unfussy, like quite quick, but I kind of noodle around a bit more and put in a little guitar solo, not solo, lick here and there, which I wouldn't do in front of anyone else, I think, which is sad. And I started writing the songs in the summer of 2022. And so it's been quite a long process for me, I guess, like a year of recording until over a year from starting to write, then record, then release. So it's nice. The songs have been with me for a while.
I can't see the structure that could be. I can't see the structure that could be. I can never see what could be.
City Streets, which was part of the single double A side that we released, it's partly about concrete, because I love concrete. I think it's great. I love brutalist architecture. And I guess, I don't know if I was thinking this when I was writing it. I think I just wrote a song and these words came out. This is often how I write a song. And then when I look back and look at those words, what I think they're about is how it feels to be a fleshy human body living amongst quite a lot of concrete in the modern world. Whereas Haunting, which was the other side of the double A side single, I realised that double A side makes no sense in a streaming context, but never mind. I like thinking about the record flipping over. Haunting is a spooky song about a house that is built but is not sure that it wanted to be built. And then that ambivalence from the house itself is what is haunting the people inside. I don't know where that idea came from, but I just thought it was quite interesting. So rather than it being the things that have happened in the house, which is the kind of traditional idea of a haunted house, it's like the fact that it was built at all creates the haunting. Eroded. Very specifically, this one is inspired by a particular thing that I was thinking about when I wrote it, which is an episode of Grand Designs where some people built a house on the edge of a cliff that was, or still is probably, falling into the sea, the cliff. And so the episode is really exciting because Kevin MacLeod is very unsure, very skeptical at their decision to build a house on the edge of a cliff. But it seems to work out. I haven't Googled to check whether that house is still there. But yeah, I guess I found that idea pretty poetic. It felt like a helpful way of expressing some of the anxieties that I think me and a lot of people have these days about our relationship with the world around us and the feeling that it's crumbling beneath our very feet.
I press my face to the glass and I wait. My toes curl around the edge, I'm looking down, and I press my hands to the grass
And I stand, I will live out my years on the edge with no fears. Who wrote it? Who wrote it? Who wrote it? Who wrote it? Blueprint it's a pop song. I was excited to write a pop song. So the whole album is about people building houses, kind of architecture, and Blueprint is about being a person who just can't really imagine how that happens, how that works. How do you even envisage a house that doesn't exist, a structure that doesn't exist? Yeah, good topic for a pop song, surely.
We were given endless space, seek horizons to retrace, keep the nature there at bay, keep the family nice and safe. All the buildings falling down, 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 all the buildings falling down.
I've got some shows coming up on Sunday the 3rd of December in Oxford at Common Ground with Darren Hayman and Withered Hand, which I'm very excited about. Then on Friday the 8th of December at the Lexington, I'm playing with my Lost Map buddies, Weird Wave, which I'm very, very excited about. I've got a few more shows in the pipeline for December yet to be announced. And I think I've got a couple booked in for next year, but I would definitely like to do more. I would love to go on a tour again. I haven't been on tour since 2019, and I do ever so love being on the move, you know, getting in the car. I've written lots of songs about touring. So yeah, I would love to get out there. So that's my plan. Got a few more songs in the works at the moment. Who knows what TV show will inspire me next. But yeah, lovely to chat.